Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to some exciting news on today's Sharp Stories. As we have, what have we done, Jay?
As you all know, we were, for the last handful of years, McInnes Marketing.
Too long.
The McInnes Marketing Minute, as you've all been introduced to. Today, we officially released that we are rebranding as
Sharp Real Estate Group.
the Sharp Real Estate Group.
That's it. We've refined all of our practice, guys, and a lot of it is thanks to you for allowing us to do so. And we are rebranding to said Sharp Real Estate Group, and we are excited to show you over the coming months what we have in store for you.
One more time, what are we calling the weekly now?
Sharp Stories.
These are going to be the Sharp Stories moving forward, and as you will see to all of our future clients that we are working with.
Non-fiction stories, I'll add.
Okay. We're going to bring a new level of marketing again to the listings we work with. So we look forward to giving you that and working together as Sharp Real Estate.
You're the absolute worst. Jay, welcome to our first Sharp Stories.
Let's do it.
Don't make him do an image every single time. Okay, so a couple of things.
What are we talking about today?
Okay, so there's two things that I saw that I want to bring to your attention. I don't know if you've seen them or not. First of all, stop. First of all, and we've been saying this for a while now.
Is this the current event section?
It doesn't matter what it is. It's whatever I say it is. I'm leading this. As a Sharp employee, you need to be on top of it. So it turns out, obviously, we've been huge fans of when you buy a house, buying your, if you can, buy something with a suite. Not only are you buying your house, you're also buying a potential investment property. It's good for the mortgage, and so on and so forth.
And
correct?
When the kids grow up.
And when the kids grow up,
put them down there.
You can put them down there for an overly charged price.
Naturally.
But, and I think this is kind of obvious, but what do you think that does to home values in places like Point Grey, Dunbar?
Having suites?
Okay, having suites and laneway homes.
Okay, well,
because laneway homes has been the talk of the town for a number of years now. Like, can we get a laneway home in? So on and so forth. It's been a hot topic. That's my impression of everyone in Canada over the last number of years, clearly.
Okay.
What do you think it does?
Well, first of all, I think you dribble into topics 10 times slower than you make me sound.
Not
ridiculous.
Not possible.
Ridiculous.
Not possible. I like your stalling to try and actually think.
Gather
but
thoughts.
Carry on.
I think laneways are a negative.
Every home?
In areas like Point Grey.
Yeah.
I think in the areas of reaching to real estate, it makes sense because there's an economic value, tenant, mortgage helper, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
So if you're reaching and trying to get in and you need that assistance, or if you just want to be as economically sound as you can in life, what's another tenant adding to your monthly? It's positive. In higher end neighborhoods, we'll say, where it's not such an economic need to have that additional income because you're dealing with assumably higher net worth individuals, I think it's a negative. Because you're going to add cars to the already busy streets, and it's just not needed. It's not necessary. You want your yard, you want your space, blah, blah, blah.
So
that's laneways. Suites, to the point of kids, I think they're going to be of value always, but laneways, not so much.
So it's actually come out now that laneways in affluent areas do actually reduce home value, according to a recent study done. So it's not just a rumor. They can actually reduce your home value, which is ironic because when you get the home built, you're actually paying substantially more for the laneway home, and you're actually impacting your home in a bad way.
I think because they average, I think depending on the lot size, you can do starting 650 or 700 square foot laneway max. So that's like the last time I looked, which wasn't in the last handful of months, like 250 to 350,000.
And then you're actually taking money off of what it could be worth, which is
so it's obviously costing to build, and then you've got it's curb appeal if people want it.
The argument will be, if you're buying a house in Point Grey, big enough to build, and add a laneway home in, are you worried about that 250, 300 grand? But being financially or fiscally responsible is knowing where your dollars go to and whether to spend it or not. Secondly, I have a number between 0 to 100%. How overvalued do you think Canadian real estate is right now?
Canadian or
Canadian
Vancouver?
real estate.
My opinion.
Yeah. Just to, you're
Zero.
educated. Zero?
Zero.
Apparently the number is 91%.
No.
Okay, Vancouver real estate.
Zero.
Okay.
Things are selling in multiple
I like
People
your
care.
answer. People are willing to pay it, so therefore, yeah.
Overvalue compared to
But
what?
apparently, according to Moody's, 23%. The market
Vancouver?
Vancouver in particular. Toronto is 40%.
Based on what?
On a variety of metrics. We'll have to put it up afterwards. It's too much to explain. But interesting enough, because of that, they feel that the price increase that we've seen from COVID and everything going up is done. Like, you're not going to see the same price increases. So people are like hoping to hold till next year because it's going to be worth an extra 30% with houses. It's not going to be the case, apparently. They're calling between Q4 this year and the start of Q3 next year.
So the next 9 months.
On average, you're only going to see about 2 to 3% increase in home values.
Well. I think it'll be more, but I don't think it'll be what we saw
a year
ago.
Well, this is like another one of those prime examples where the Canadian real estate is taken into account as a whole. Like, you can't tell me that you're comparing Timmins, Ontario real estate with Dunbar, where we are right now in Vancouver. So I think that's, I don't want to say fake news, I just think that's a very broad look at things.
I think, as we kind of touched on last week, all news outlets, everything caters to
Socialism, your opinion, socialism.
SHITing on the market, and that's just another part of it. Mm-hmm. Let's favor the buyer that's out of the market, even though all the taxpayers are the ones in the market. That's a whole other story. But it's the same thing. And the other thing too is all this negativity around we're overvalued. No one has to buy. Go rent. It's cheaper. No one has to buy anything. So why complain about it? It's like I want to own. I want to own. I deserve it.
Wow.
No, it's just no one has to buy.
Well, I'm definitely a believer if you've got a one-off paying, like if somebody pays like $1 million for a $500,000 home and it's a one-off, okay, you overpaid. But if there's
not worth $500,000.
If there's a trend,
if they paid $1 million.
If there's a trend, no, stop.
It's true.
Stop. If there's a trend of people purchasing, like there is for most real estate, that's what comparables are for, I don't think you're personally overpaying. And what gets me the most about this is when people come from outside of Vancouver
and complain about how expensive
and they're like, oh, you must be kidding, I can get a custom built home for $600,000 in Calgary and I can't even buy a detached house here in Vancouver. Well, that's the market. You're going to have to kind of adjust and expectations.
Very common.
You can't compare that and say you're overpaying in Vancouver. But I do agree that the majority of the price hikes are up and have happened. I still think there's a bit of room for detached houses, but I think anyone who's trying to hold out hoping that it was, on average 30% year over year for detached housing, you're not going to get another 30%.
Not in the short term,
year
for
over
sure.
year.
No, I totally agree with that. But again, I think they may, all this rate talk, they may start kicking it up, but I think if they do, I think it'll just come back down anyway.
Well, that's why. The whole idea is that the rates are going to start to be kicked up. It's going to drive home buyer demand down. Inventory is going to come up. Usual story.
Yeah,
usual suspects.
I don't think it'll happen.
That's it, Jay. I wanted to get your thoughts on that. Thank you guys this week for watching our intro. Sharp Real Estate. Sharp Real Estate Group.
From now on.
See you next week.